Hey folks, welcome back to Duster Bust. Today we're going to be removing the dash from our 74 Plymouth Duster. So it's a bit tricky to get this thing out. I have never done it. I started working on it a couple months back and ended up getting a little bit discouraged. As I get ready to paint the inside of the car, it was bugging me that I never got it done. So went online. I found a post on for A-bodies only from Blue Missile Andrew, and he basically showed a quick couple steps on and pictures, a couple pictures on how to get it done, but I wanted to go through it in more detail, and so as I'm doing it, I'm going to be kind of pointing out a few things. Now the steps that he gives are basically strip out everything behind the dash, disconnect all the fasteners that are attached to the dash, including the parking brake and hood release, drop the steering column enough for the dash sheet metal to clear the studs that the column hangs on. So we'll show those in the back. And then the fourth step, at each, I won't read the whole thing, but it's basically at each connector clip, and it looks like there's 5 connector clips in there. Those are normally accessed with the windshield off. So a lot of people will say that you need to take the windshield off to pull it out. I don't really want to take the windshield off. So I know people are saying it's not that hard of a job, but if I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it. But no, I think this is I mean, clearly there's people looking for how to do it. So Andrew went through it. I think some other people have surely done it, but it's still a little complicated. So I wanted to go through it and point out exactly where we need to go with it. The 5 troublesome fasteners, they're basically spaced 3, 4, 5, and again, normally you would access them with the windshield off, and then they'd be real easy to take out. But if you don't want to take the windshield out, you know, either fear of breaking it, fear of damaging the trim, whatever the case may be, you know, you don't have to do that. We will find a way to get it done. So with that being said, a few disclaimers is I've already stripped out a lot of stuff on here. So there may be some additional steps that you have to go through. But the tricky part is still here, so I think it'll be, hopefully you find this useful. Don't forget, hit subscribe to stay up to date on anything that we post. As I'm learning things, so this is my learning project, and as I'm learning things, I'm sharing them. Hopefully you find this helpful, and let me know. So drop a comment if you find this helpful. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified whenever I post new content. So that being said, so I pulled out the steering column already, so that step is done. But normally there's a couple big fasteners here. You would have to drop that. In this case, it's already gone. I took out this inside. Was all rotted out already inside of the glove box, so that's already gone. Also, the dash pad, mine was very weather damaged, so I had taken that out previously. That was already a pain in the butt, and I ended up just using a Dremel and cutting fasteners to get that out. So that, you know, already done there, so a little bit of a cheat. What else is done? The heater. I took the heater out one day, mostly just because I was curious about it, so I took it out. What else is out of here? A lot of the cabling, everything that goes through to the engine bay is already disconnected. The brakes are disconnected. So there's a lot of additional steps that you're going to have to do if you're starting from scratch. But if you've been, like me, piecemeal, just stripping stuff down, I hit a wall when I thought I couldn't take this out, and I just kind of stopped. So it's going to be good to have it out. I'm going to redo all the electrical anyway, so it'll be nice just to have it pulled out. So enough chat, let's get to it. So ultimately there's 2 bolts here and the 5 fasteners across the top that are holding it. So first we need to take out what else we can so that we can access those fasteners. So let's get to it. I noticed this should be this instrument cluster. Looks like it's pretty easy to take out. We'll see. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws. Oh, 6 screws. Push in the right direction, and it is out. All right, so I'm gonna take some photos of these cables.
That was good.
All right, and she's off. I'm putting the nuts back on here just so I don't lose them. All right, the brake connection, we're gonna go ahead and pull that right now, and come on out. There we go, there's one, and 2. All right, that gets that cable out of the way. All right, so next, parking brake sensor here.
Is this a 7/16s?
What's it say?
It says 7/16. It says 7 and 16. Do you see it? Do you see the 7/16 word? We need to. Could you see its numbers?
Perfect timing, buddy. There is a little bracket attached to the sensor, so I think we're just going to disconnect that little bracket. All right, brake sensor is off. Next, the actual brake lever itself is, I don't know if there used to be something else holding that, but right now there wasn't a lot. So I think this is a speaker. Looks like a speaker. And that's going to have to come out so that we can get the middle.
Electrical signals.
So I got a couple cables here on one end. All right, so let's start with our 2 cables. All right, I got a black and a green. The green is towards the front of the car. The black is the other one. All right, but that's fine. I think we're free. We just need to undo these bolts here. All right, here we go. Second one out. So should be unbolted. Let's see if we can jiggle it off. There we go. Yeah, that is a speaker. Pretty pretty ugly speaker. All right, what do we have left? There's one cable on this end, which goes to this door sensor. There's 3 cables on this end. I don't know what they do. Let's see if we can get that one sensor. What happens if we twist that? Start with a 9/16, and oh, that's it.
Look at the steps.
See here, and nice. This one does have a little pull-off connector. So, all right. So we pulled that off. That's now gonna pull through, and no more electrical holding us up on this side.
And then the last episode.
Alright, I'm gonna do the same thing on this one. And unfortunately we have 3 bolts or 3 cables to sort out. But let's just start. Huh, look at that. All 3 come in here. That is lucky. I don't know why. I don't exactly know how it works. I mean, it's a sensor, but alright. Disconnect. Disconnect. And pull it out. Wow. Got lucky. I was afraid there was going to be 2 going to an unknown location. Alright, so that means the electrical should be out of the way. Now the hard part is actually, my Dremel broke on me.
Your Dremel?
And this is going to be hard to do without a Dremel. You know what, let's just take out the heater. I think it's going to be in our way. And then the other 2 should be doable. Why don't we try one just to see if this is going to work for us. Always disconnect. Alright, here's what we're looking at. We broke the clip on top. I'm going to see if I can just grab it with some pliers and pull it out the bottom. Alright, so change in the strategy. Originally, I was planning on, trying to follow this and try not to, trying to grind around and not damage the 5 bolts that are holding it in the back. I don't think that's going to go so well. Plus, I'm missing my Dremel tool and I don't really feel like going to the store to buy one. Plus, I think it's going to end up getting damaged anyway, so I'm just going to embrace that and cut them. At the end, we'll talk about how we're going to fix it. But I've already ripped everything else on this car apart. At this point, I'm not really afraid of fixing stuff. So we're going to cut it. We'll fix it afterwards, but that's going to drop it out. And I think we can do a fix that'll make it easier to take in and out in the future. Not that it'll probably ever come out again, but yeah, I think we're going to do that. So I already jumped the gun because I had to charge my camera. I cut the 4 outer, so the 2 on this side, the 2 on that side. I'll show you guys here in a minute. In order to get this one with my 4.5-inch angle grinder, I'm gonna have to pull out the heater. So I'm gonna have to pull out not the heater itself, but the panel here. So let's pull that out. That'll give us enough access to cut that last bolt. I'll hook the camera up here so you guys can see exactly what we're talking about. We'll look at all of the ones that I've cut already. And then at that point, the only thing holding it should be the 1 bolt on each side. So at that point, we should be able to drop the whole thing out. Now, if you have a Dremel and you can reach without, then do that, but I don't at the moment. I'm gonna try to loosen. There should be another 1 over here. Yeah, 2 bolts. I'm gonna loosen those, and I just need this to come forward a couple inches so I can fit my grinder in here. Huh. All right, it falls backwards. That's it. It's off, those 2 bolts, and you can pull it back. Anyways, while we're up here, here's the first one. It's already cut off. This bracket's still kind of hanging on there, but it's not doing anything. Second one here, cut that one. Third one, I started cutting it. Need to finish it. And then 4th. Get open. Fourth one was, should be able to see a little grind mark. Yeah, fourth one is right there. And then the fifth one up in the corner. And I was able to, you know, obviously I have a lot of stuff taken out, but I was able to do that all with my big angle grinder. So, shouldn't be too bad to reach it. So, yeah, and if you do have a Dremel or something, even better. All right, let's get it cut, and then let's see if things come out. Probably overkill using the welding glove, but tight space, gotta be safe. So obviously you want to be super aware of hand placement and what happens if you drop it and all of that good safety stuff. All right, I'm gonna take, I have a little screwdriver here. I'm just gonna put a little pry on it just to make sure it's loose. And she's loose. One. Two. And you should have seen that, but it already dropped a little. So that's a good sign. Alright. Just taking the clip out. I think it's still hanging up a little bit on remaining bolt head. Number two. It's almost there. We're good. And it is out. Hells yeah. All right, so that was it. I mean, the complexity is really, I mean, those two you can see, but the complexity is really these 5 bolts to, where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can see that here's the head of that bolt where we ended up just cutting it off. Now, here's the lower on the window, and here is the little brackets that they use. So these brackets are, come on, get out of there. So I mean, it's made to fasten through the top, but that doesn't mean that that's the way that we're gonna do it. We do it however the hell we want. So yeah, so this was just going, put you back up there. So yeah, this just drops down through and fastens in. Works. But I can, actually, I was gonna say it would be easy to weld a little piece on top, but I don't know if I want to have something that hot that close to the windshield. But then again, I mean, I have this little shield here, and I really only need to just tack it in. So if I put a little guard in place, if I kind of just maybe pry that up, I think I can just tack a nut on it really easily. And then whenever I do come back in here, I can just put a bolt from the bottom up want to do, you know, watch out that if you use a bolt that's too long, you might end up running it all the way up into the glass. But or you could just take the windshield off and replace that. But if you don't want to, don't. I was gonna say you could try to drop a bolt back in. I don't think that's gonna work so well. Yeah, to start one from the top down, I don't think that'll work. But I do like the bottom up idea. You just got to be careful not to bust the glass, but I don't know. Not that big of a deal. Or you cut it off and redo the windshield, but if you don't want to, you can always find a way. Oh, here, this is filthy. Check this out. Ooh, super dirty. But now I have access to all of this electrical. I can set this up on a bench top, see what works, see what doesn't. Some of this stuff I'm gonna use, some of it I'm not. I'm not sure. I might even try to just start the car up without a dash. I don't know, is that possible? I don't see why not. Obviously, like I have these fuses and stuff I'll have to do something with, but I mean, is there a rule that says you need a dash? Maybe not. Or maybe we'll make a nice custom dash. I don't know. These are all options. All right, cool. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you found this helpful or mildly amusing. And if you did, give me a like, subscribe, and comments are super helpful and motivating as well. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care.